the World Match Play starting tomorrow. I'm going to go through day-by-day predictions for the 2025 World Match Play of darts. Obviously, Winter Gardens, Blackpool. I'm going to go through, obviously, each day. So I'll do today's games, tomorrow's. Well, I'm actually recording this on Friday night, but be doing Saturdays, then Sundays, Mondays, etc., etc. So we start off with Game 1 of the 25 World Match Play, James Wade, Joe Cullen. Now, probably one of the most 50-50 games, I would say, in the whole tournament in terms of the first round anyway. James Wade's A game is quality, same as Joe Cullen's, but their B game is quite similar, and I don't really think any of them are playing the best of their peaks right now. I do think it'll be a tight game. I'm going to go, obviously, first to 10 for round 1. I'm going to go 10... I'm going to go 10-8 James Wade. I'm going to go 10-8 to James Wade. Second game, Danny Noppert, Cameron Menzies. Cameron Menzies not really been in the form that, he has been coming into major tournaments before. I think Danny Noppert looks quite comfortable at the moment. I think he's playing some, really good darts. I do fancy Danny to win this one. I'm going to go with 10-6 to Danny Noppert. I think Cameron Menzies can cause him a bit of trouble, but ultimately it should be Noppy into the second round. And then the third game of the night sees the reigning champion Luke Humphries take on Jan van Veen. Luke Humphries obviously looking to go back-to-back at Winter Gardens. Now, Jan van Veen can cause an upset. He's a quality player. We saw him at the World Cup with Danny Noppert. They played ridiculous darts throughout that tournament. Luke Humphries, though, obviously him and Littler didn't really do that well at the World Cup. They got beaten their first game by Germany, didn't they? But Luke Humphries on his own and Littler on their own are better than a pair, I think, because obviously they're both trying to win for themselves in a pair. I can't see Humphries. I'm not sure if Humphries goes on and wins the whole tournament, but I don't know if I can see Humphries losing first round. Obviously, it's going to be Saturday night, about 9 o'clock roughly. Luke Humphries is obviously going to be up for this. Obviously, his walk-on will get him going and get the crowd going for his game. I'm going to go 10-7 Humphries. I think he does get the job done over Jan van Veen, but I'm not saying that'll be a plain sailing win for cool hand Luke Humphries. And then the final game of the night sees Nathan Aspinall take on Vessel Nyman. Now, Nyman has really come into his own this year. I think may do well at a tournament between the back end of the year, maybe the World Match Play Grand Prix, if he qualifies for that, of course, the Players' Championship, or maybe even the Worlds. And I think next year is Vessel Nyman's real breakthrough. Nathan Aspinall, though, has been on a real resurgence recently. He's playing some really good stuff. And also improving his attitude. Losing legs, he doesn't really give off as much as what he used to. Normally, you'd know where Aspinall's head was at when he lost a specific game, because the head would drop, the mentality would be seen. You could see how he's feeling, and I don't really think he shows his emotions as much on stage, which is improving his game. I think he gets past Nyman. I'm going to go 10-6 for this one. So night 1, I've gone for James Wade to beat Joe Cullen, Danny Noppert to beat Cameron Menzies, Humphries to beat Van Veen, and Aspinall to beat Vessel Nyman. I do think that in terms of the best opportunity for a shock, I think it probably is in this one. Jan van Veen, Luke Humphries. I think there's a real chance that Van Veen could beat Luke Humphries. If Humphries isn't on it first few legs and, Van Veen gets a break, leads by a couple of legs, especially if he's in front going into that first break, then Humphries could be in trouble. But looking at the way Humphries has been playing, I don't really think Humphries is the type of player that would, sort of show his cards early on in a game. But I think Humphries wins. Those are my night 1 predictions. Do let me know yours in the comment section down below. Let me know all 4 predictions in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching on TikTok, like, follow, and obviously get your comments in on both. Hopefully a good night at darts on Saturday night, and then obviously Sunday I'll be giving Sunday's predictions. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Enjoy the darts.